Hell hath no fury like a head-on collision. Hello and welcome to episode 64 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus. I'm Jane Ubel, and of course with me today is veteran crash investigator and driver safety expert Mike Pehl. And of course our social media expert and keeper of observations, Natasha Johnson, is here as well. Now today, Natasha, I asked her to research a rather personal crash that happened last month. This is a crash that took the lives of my college roommate's brother and sister-in-law. So Natasha, can you tell us what you have learned about this incident?
Yes, I can. Authorities say a 28-year-old man was behind the wheel of a pickup truck that collided head-on with the couple's SUV Saturday morning. Both the husband and wife were pronounced dead at the scene after bystanders tried to save them. What is what's especially devastating is that the man had just been released from probation for a prior DWI 5 days before the crash. Court records show a long history of driving offenses, including two previous DWIs, multiple speeding violations, and driving after his license was revoked. Investigators say the man was driving the wrong way on Highway 56 and blew over the legal limit on a breath test at the scene. He's now facing 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide and 1 count of DWI and remains in jail on $500,000 bail. It's a heartbreaking reminder of how one person's reckless choices can destroy innocent lives and how the system sometimes fails to prevent repeat offenders from getting back behind the wheel.
Thank you. That's a good research and it's not a sad
Yes,
story. So Mike,
so sad.
uh-huh.
Always hard. It's always hard.
Mhm.
So, of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims' families, and it's never a good thing. Just is just always a bad,
Yeah.
bad.
Well, you have two kids who have lost both their parents at the same time. That'd be
Yes,
very
yes.
difficult.
Because why? Because we have one um, piece of junk out there, and I'm going to do that. And I think how do you not respect life? How do you make multiple tickets, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law? You're in jail, you're out of jail. So, well, what do we do with these people? Do we find an island to put them on? We can't even do that because too many people want a vacation to the islands. But maybe we could find a really cold island and put them out there. I don't know, but it's just,
Yeah.
people out there, listen to me carefully. This person should not even have been on the road. We lost two lives about it. It's changed the lives of aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, kids forever. Forever. We don't get that back. And I am just here to tell you as a defensive guy, we have people like this. You cross this person's path every day you drive. I want you to know that. Every day you drive. And you've heard me talk before. Get paranoid when you're in a car. I will never ever go away from that. You know what? When you are afraid, when you are scared that someone's going to come into your lane, a drunk driver, a texter, guess what? You're ready for it. And when you're ready for it, you get to defend against it. I don't know what they saw at this scene. This is a wrong way driver. That sucks. But I will tell you what we teach. When you are on a multi-lane road, a wrong way driver will always be on the left side of the road. Stay out of that left lane. Remember, get your business done and get the heck out of there. All right. They will think it's a two-way street. I teach my students when we come off long freeway ramps to exit, stay to the right because if a wrong way driver gets on the freeway, they're going to think it's a two-way street. That's what drunks do. That's what people on drugs do. And when you are on the right side instead of the middle of that lane to exit, when you're on the right side, they go right on past you. And they're going to kill the people behind you. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. And I just had a conversation where I live here and doing driver's ed, we have a very confusing interchange to get on a freeway. And it's very easy to go down the wrong side. I bring every student there on purpose. We're going to go do this, and here's what I want you to remember this scene for when we come back. And then I explain to them, listen, take the right side of the ramp. Here's why. And you remember before when you got on there, you were confused, even though it said do not enter, you were still confused. And so what it is it's a freeway that goes, a ramp that goes to get on the freeway, and right to the left of it is where the ramp comes off. So easily you could just, yes, it's scary, but it makes sense to
It
them when
sounds
we,
like an intern designed that
yes.
one.
So, but anyway, for you ones out there, listen, I'm just going to give you some defensive driving tips. You can see a drunk coming at you. They cannot go straight down the road. You can see a texter who is the new drunk driver. You know what? The texter is actually worse than the drunk. In this case, we do have a drunk, a multiple offender. But you need to look at lane position coming at you. Where is that car that's coming at you? I lock on them. I want to see where they're at in the lane. And if their steering wheel is not pointed down the middle of their lane, and that steering wheel is closer to the center line, you need to start going ding, 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 ding. Where is my exit? To the right, to the right, to the right. All right. I want you to start noticing every student I say, see the car coming at you? Where's its lane position? I always ask them, do you get sick of me saying that? Look at the semi. Look at his steering wheel's pointed right down the middle of their lane. And look at that big monster semi is still in its lane. Oh, geez, did you see that car just move off center? Oh, watch it. When they go by us, they will not be paying attention to the road. And sure enough, that every time. You cannot lose control of the car when you're focused on where the car is going. But when we take our eye off the car, when we take our eye off the front, we always go to the taper or the momentum of the curve when you drive. So remember, a drunk driver cannot focus straight ahead. So what do? They look at the center line and what, because they don't want to go over the center line, right? So when we stare at something, what do we do in a car? We go to it. And when we get to it, we don't want to go into the other lane. So what do? We have to focus to the right.
And you overcorrect
Then
sometimes.
we overcorrect back to the left. And that becomes that way of doing it. Same thing with a texter. A texter will be more blunt because they look away from the car more. And all of a sudden that car will fade and all of a sudden they'll come back quick. It'll fade and come back quick. That is the sleepy driver, the texter. So all I can say is this: you do whatever it takes to avoid this. This is what kills the head on collision. Your brain, your heart has no airbags, no seatbelts to ride down the force of that impact. All right. But I will tell you this: if you turn that head on into a glancing blow where you go to the right and the glancing blow hits, it bounces off of you. You will survive that crash almost always. You might get injured, but you're actually going to probably 99% of the time survive that crash. This one, almost never. You just don't do it. You can't. I don't care what our safety systems say on these cars. I always hate the one commercial that goes, and I'm going to call them out on it. It's a Subaru, and they look back at the head-on collision and the
Mhm.
girl's got a little Band-Aid on her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this thing car saved my life. It did not. You know what? You don't have head-on collisions at 50 miles an hour and walk away from a crash. You can't do it. I don't care how many airbags you got. Your heart can't take it. Your brain can't take it. Your organs can't take it. Is there a, a luck in the sky somewhere that every now and then, how did they live? Yes, that does happen. But you know what? The thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands that die that it didn't work for. But guess what? When you can roll that car instead of have that head-on collision, you almost always live. If your seatbelt's worn properly, you're not going to get thrown out of that car. All right. I mean, there's just so many aspects of this. And that's what I mean is driving defensively. When you're in that car, somebody's going to make a mistake. We're around too many people for it not to happen. Why are we so
Yeah.
trusting on our number one killer right here, the car? So to the right, pay attention to it. And like I say, I don't know what we do for these multiple offenders. I don't know what we do, you know.
I don't know how he got his license back, but here's the other
Yes.
thing. They caught in a hill. So they were both going 60 something and they didn't see it till the hill, which I know you have some words of wisdom about how do you
Do.
know someone's coming when it's a hill?
Okay, it makes it harder at night, but there'll always be a glow. But every hill we go up,
Yeah.
we always look for a rooftop before we see the car. You'll always see the rooftop of the car at the top of the hill before you see the car. And it gives you that precious, precious. I mean, this is why we train our mind for our ABCs of defensive driving to the right, to the right, to the right. What are you going to do when this happens? To the right. What are you going to do when this happens? To the right. What are you going to do when that happens? To the right. Because if you don't practice your ABCs like we did when we were little kids, it ain't going to happen when you come to that crash. So, are you really willing to save the people's lives in your car by going into the ditch? Can you really, really, truly do it? And everybody needs to do a check in their brain right now to say, can I? Is that the right thing to do? Because if you go research every head-on collision out there, almost all of them didn't end up good, guys. But now go research all the rollovers. You know, they all come up with a good story unless the seatbelt wasn't worn. Okay. And then go look at how many times people have avoided a head-on collision and did a side swipe. Again, almost always the people not only walk away, but they for sure survive. So, I mean, it's just all there. At night, harder to see that rooftop, but still assume because you will see the glow of the headlights. And if the car doesn't have headlights on, then oh, it's just bad luck. But usually there's things that we can see before it happens that we can change a disaster into a minimal disaster, I guess. So no, my heart just I hate this story. I hate it. I just hate it.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
tough. The funeral was phenomenal. They had so
Yeah,
many friends and whatever, but it was just two very wonderful people who
yeah,
passed. And the fact that this person had so many should never have gotten their license back. I don't
right.
even understand how his parole officers gave him a new, after all the incidents, how he got a new license is just kind of unnerving to me.
Yeah, and still, who knows what the legal system's going to do? But he's not getting life in prison. I'm going to tell you that. He's going to be back on the road. He's going to be another offender. You know what? A guy like this doesn't get fixed. And unfortunately, and I'm a really good heart-to-heart guy, but
Mhm.
unfortunately here the wrong people died. You know what? And it's usually the innocent that dies in this stuff. And I'm just going to even go back a month ago. We lost two young ladies. Same thing, drunk driver through a red light. Same thing. And they didn't see him coming. That's why we turn our head and look. So, it all gets back to get paranoid in the car. We're not
Mhm.
safe. It's not time to sit and let's talk about our college roommates and our friends and what are we going to do the weekend before. You know what? You, as my rider, I have your life in my hands. You need to get paranoid sitting over there too, because we don't know if it's moving, it can get us. If it's moving, it can get us. Just remember that. If it ain't moving, it ain't going to get you. So when
Sometimes
you're
I
up,
irritate people by
yes.
doing
Yes.
that,
Yes.
but
So,
I do. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And again, it's a sad affair, but if maybe it can help someone, down the road, I don't know,
yeah.
sometimes
Yeah. So
I'm
our
hoping.
friends at the state are working on zero deaths. How do we do zero deaths when we
Yeah.
got goofy people like this on the roads? Because we can implement every aspect of driving and safety and da da da, and then we let this person back on the road, and he's the one that doesn't let it become zero, you know? And it's not just because he's a male. I mean, we have females that do that. We have grandpas that do it. We have bus drivers that do it. I mean, it's
Yes.
just the whole system. And there you go. So, you know, if we do all become better defensive drivers, though, I am sold on it. We
We
can
can try to, yes, exactly.
we can minimize the death. Let's put it that way. So
All right.
have
Well,
a great day. Get this off to
yeah,
your friends, everybody. These are free, man. And we get everybody out there to get paranoid. Guess what? We all become better drivers. And guess what? We're all on the same roads together. And we are going to cross paths sometimes. So um, God bless.
yes. Good words of wisdom, Mike. And just to let you
Very
know,
good.
below here is you can find links on ways to get a hold of us or to watch other podcasts or to uh, pass these links off to friends and family because, um, well, they're all precious and we hope that people will, be better drivers, like you just said. We also want to let you know that if you subscribe to our youtube.com/ drive safe ride safe one, and it's a channel, we will send you our weekly podcast to your email so you don't have to uh, rummage around to find us. And of course, until next time, we are here to say
Drive safe.
Ride safe.
.com. Thank you all and
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
God bless.